Hi, I'm Jean Marie Jobs, executive coach and trainer with Novus Global. Have you ever asked yourself, how do I scale my business? Or finding that you're hitting some roadblocks or some rubs to moving forward? Let's take a moment and tease apart what the difference is between being effective and being scalable. Now, most of us, when we start our businesses, we figure out a way to make it work. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a business. So we've learned certain things. We have certain patterns and habits that have been effective. They've worked, and they've worked great for the first X number of years with the first X number of employees. And as time goes on and we start to grow, often it becomes very clear that we can't keep doing the same things we're doing the same way we do it because it's not scalable. I'll give you an example. I was working with a client the other day and we were talking about their orientation program. So how do people get oriented? How do you onboard people? And the CEO said, well, I usually just have them sit with me for a week and just watch me do the things that I do. And I thought, wow, okay, that's not scalable. And it's probably been effective. It's worked up until that point. And I get, as a leader, you're responsible for imparting the values and the mission and the vision. Those are all really important. And if you start looking at yourself as the main source of all of that communication, the only way people can be onboarded and oriented is to spend 1 week shadowing you. That's just not scalable, because what happens in a year or 2 months or whatever when now you've got 10 new employees, or you've got 20 new employees, or you've got 5 new locations? And part of scaling is the willingness to release what has been effective up until now, and to start thinking about what would it look like to delegate things, to systematize things, to release certain things in order to make them scalable and make them repeatable. This can be a very challenging time for an owner, a president, a CEO, even an executive team, because they've actually had a certain amount of success in what they're doing up until that point. And shifting that or delegating it or creating more of a system for it can feel like, oh, now we're gonna lessen our quality, or we're gonna compromise on the things that are important to us. And I get it. And in any area of life, if we can't figure out how do we scale it, how can we systematize it in order to be more generative, to be more generous, to share it with other people, to invite more people in, we're gonna find that we just live at a certain capacity. And if that's what you're choosing, that is 100% fine. That's great. And if you're choosing to grow, growth by definition includes exercising new muscles. You've got to try new things that you haven't tried up until now. And yeah, it can feel insecure. Yes, it can feel like you're losing control. Yes, you will need to extend trust in ways that up until now maybe you haven't been willing to or even thought about. In order to become scalable, we've got to embrace innovation. And not just our own innovation, but innovation from other people. Innovation and ideas from new people, from people that aren't really maybe like us, from people that think differently. And if you were going to zoom out and get the 6,000-foot view of your business, and you would say to yourself, where is it that I am committed to be with this business in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years? What type of relationships would you build? What kind of collaborations would you start to create now so that you're equipped to move into the future that you see possible? So just start to notice in your day-to-day operations, where have I created a system that's not scalable? Or where have I allowed myself to become so necessary in this process that in order to extricate myself from it, I'm gonna feel a big loss? How can I empower people, equip people, create an orientation and onboarding process that is clear, that is compelling, that invites people to really bring their best to the table, and aligns with the mission, vision, and values, and also allows for innovation. Unless you want people to come into your organization and just check the box and keep the status quo, then we're going to need to find ways to embrace innovation, to listen to people in new ways, and to trust people with ideas, with products, with authority that up until now, maybe we have not even experimented with. So pause and ask yourself, where's my organization headed? What's working? What is not working? Where can I see that I need to scale? And if I asked my team, where do they see we need to scale in the organization in order to powerfully move forward into the vision we say matters? Notice if you're feeling some resistance to even the thought of scaling. I get it. You might check out my video on aggressive independence. We all fall prey to it at times, and it is an absolute growth killer. If this was helpful for you, if you could see yourself in this, like, subscribe, make a comment, ask a question. We all struggle with very similar things, and we have resources to share with each other. And if you're interested in a vision call, check out the link and sign up for one today.